Jerry, did you check that structure?
Yeah, I checked it.
Have you seen any of them yet? How many of them were there?
I don't know for sure. I know I saw one. Maybe two. It's really dark out here. Where there's one of them, there's bound to be more. Keep your eyes open.
There's not enough cover here. They are going to find us for sure. I thought I heard a dog barking too. It's bound to sniff us out sooner or later. If we try to move, they'll spot us, but we can't stay here.
Sit tight, there's still a couple 100 yards away. God will provide. He's taken us this far. Just hold on, trust him. If it's our time to go, then we accept that, but we're not going to just give up to them.
You guys remember a few nights ago, just on the outskirts of that town none of us knew the name of? The one with the burning oil tanks.
Yeah, sure, but what's that got to do with tonight's Stuart?
Well, we were reading out of John 15. Remember where Jesus was talking to the 11 disciples about how he was getting ready to be crucified? Well, one of the verses just came into my mind, and it's hard to explain it, but I just got the most peaceful feeling I've ever had. I mean, I'm just so calm right now I can't believe it.
That's great, Stuart. I'm really happy for you. But we really need a plan right now, and no offense, but peaceful happy feelings are not going to get us out of this mess. We're all dead in a few minutes if we don't think of something quick.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Richard. I know what I'm supposed to do, and it's not only the most important thing I've ever done, but it's your path to safety. It's everyone's path to get out of here alive tonight.
Except yours, Stuart. Oh no. Don't do this. Please. There must be another way.
No man has greater love than this, and yeah, my friends, I'll see you when you get home. Maybe I'll save a place at the table for you. I love you all. Now get ready.
Stuart! No! Hey, what's that? Over there! Hey, you! Stop! Stop, I said!
Over there, is that a building, Sam? Get up here with those binoculars.
Yeah, looks like an old farm place. There's a barn and a couple of other outbuildings.
Any lights? Can you see any people? Any sign of movement?
No, nothing, Richard. The place looks empty, but in this rain it's hard to tell. Sharon, come with me. Bring the rifle. Let's try to get a closer look. Give us 10 minutes. If we're not back by then, get out of here.
Richard, I'm sorry I was so scared back there. I'm sorry I stayed hidden. But it was all I could do to not run away. Why did Stuart do that? Why would he run out right in front of those guys like that? He had to know they would shoot him.
He knew, Crystal. He knew exactly what was going to happen to him. It might be hard for you to understand right now, but he didn't do it for us. Well, I mean, he did, in a way, but what he did back there, he did for Jesus. If he hadn't run out into the road, I'm going to guess all of us here would have been dead by morning, if not sooner.
But I don't understand. When I met up with all of you yesterday, you seemed like nice people. Why would those men out there want to kill you? What did you guys do? Why are they after you? Why
It's an old farm place, all right. Looks like it's been abandoned for quite a while, but it's hard to say for sure. The house is boarded up, but the barn's wide open. We didn't see any signs of life. We should be able to get some rest there for the night.
Okay, let's get over there. We can check the house in the morning when there's more light. I don't want to take any more chances tonight. Sam, you take the first watch. I'll relieve you in 3 hours.
Why did you shoot him? I told you. I want every one of them that we find alive. I want everyone questioned. How are we supposed to know if there were any more of them now?
What did you want me to do? He was running away at top speed. We would have lost him in this rain. It's not like this is the first time I've been on patrol. You know.
You do that again, and it won't be the last patrol you'll go on, with me or anyone else. I'm the one that's got to answer for this when we get back to base. And I'm tired of answering for your mistakes. Last chance, Jerry. Get over there and check his pockets. Bring me everything you find. That's what I thought. A Bible. See what you've done. How many do you think there were? How many got away? Have we ever come across just one of them? One dead Christian is not going to stop this plague, idiot. Throw his body in the ditch and get on the transport. I'll let the boss deal with you when we get back to base. The rest of you, search the perimeter. Bring anyone you find back alive. I don't want any more screw-ups. Move it!
Sergeant Williams, so good of you to accept my invitation. It's always good to visit with you. Please come in. Come in. And this must be Private Sanders. Jerry, isn't it? So good to meet you. Please, gentlemen, have a seat. May I offer you some refreshments?
No thank you, sir. I'm still on duty.
My dear Sergeant, you're always on duty. I should tell you, Jerry. I have offered this man one of the top positions in my administration more than once, and each time he has refused my gracious offer. Some men are just made for work in the field, and Sergeant Williams here is indeed one of the finest we have at what we need men like him for. I do fear, though, that the sergeant may need to modify his position with us soon, though.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand, sir.
Things are beginning to move rapidly, Sergeant. Very soon we will need men of your caliber leading many more men. More than just the 50 or so you have been in charge of over the last year or so. This we will discuss in private at a later time. You will be notified of when. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Perfectly. I look forward to serving in whatever capacity that you choose for me.
Excellent. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Complete and uncompromising loyalty. We need more men like you, Sergeant. Unfortunately, there seem to be fewer of your distinction than I had hoped for. But soon that too will change. Sometimes people just need a little push, so to speak, to get them motivated. Am I right, Jerry?
Yes, sir. I guess so, sir. Whatever you say, sir.
Now that's what I like to hear. Whatever I say. Yes, indeed, whatever I say. I thought you might like to know, Sergeant. We have some information you might find interesting about your last mission. We have, shall I say, a friend of ours that has joined the group that you lost track of the other night. A confidant, as they say.
That, sir. I wanted to express my deepest regrets to you about the incident that occurred. As the officer in charge, I am completely responsible for not completing the mission I was sent to do.
Nonsense. No need to apologize, my dear friend. You have proven your worths more than enough to our endeavors here. The amount of those Christians that you have rooted out for us has been more than exemplary. No need for apologies. We have a separate unit that should be arriving very soon at where those who evaded you are now in hiding at. And the confidant that we have placed into their midst has been most helpful to us. Our hopes are that they will lead us to even more of their kind. These Christians are the reason for all of the troubles that we are experiencing, and the sooner we are rid of them, the better. Now, Sergeant, if you will excuse me, I have some very pressing matters to attend to. Busy, 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 as they say. I do want to thank you so much for accepting my invitation, and I so look forward to meeting with you to discuss your new position with the organization very soon. Now, you have a great day. Oh, Jerry, would you mind waiting for just a moment? If you would please. There is a small matter I would like to discuss with you. A very inconsequential matter indeed. Shouldn't take but a minute or two.
This plague must come to an end. These Christians are the bane of our society. Their false god, their false religions, their pious attitudes, all these have caused every problem of mankind. Mankind has been forced to serve this invisible deity for long enough. It is time to put these fairy tales to rest, to end this nonsense that there is a higher power out there somewhere. We are the higher power. We are the gods of this world. And we will step out into the future, assured of our place in the cosmos. We will reign supreme everywhere our feet touch soil. This is the age of man.
Would you like a cup of coffee, young man?
What? What did you say?
The lady asked if you wanted a cup of coffee. No, not too fast there, young fella. Take it slow. Yeah, I've got your rifle right here, and in a minute or so, after I hear the answers to some question I've got, we'll see if you're going to get it back. Now, answer the lady's question. Would you like a cup of hot coffee?
Yes, please. I would. It's been a long time since I've had one. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, like I said, I've got a couple of questions I'm going to ask. I see there's 3 other folks with you. Are there more, or is that all there is?
Yes, sir. Just the 4 of us. We came here late last night, in the storm. We didn't see anyone around, but we weren't sure about the house. It was very late. We were tired and wet, so we just took refuge in the barn. We didn't mean to intrude, and we're not looking for any trouble.
Well, we've got no problem with that. The good book says we're to be kind to strangers, but cautious at the same time. Now, before your friends inside the barn there wake up, I've got another question for you, and I may be old, but I'm still sharp. So I'll know if you're lying to me. I want you to tell me, who do you say Jesus Christ is?
Up until about 7 or 8 months ago, I would have said that he's a fairy tale, something for children and fools to believe in. But now I know him as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He is God, and he's my savior.
Well, you can't get much more specific than that. Can you, old man?
I reckon not, little lady. Here's your rifle back, son. Go on and wake your friends up. We'll meet you behind the house. Then we'll head inside and have some breakfast. Get to know each other a little better.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sharon. Both of your children at once. How old were they?
John was 16, and Helga was 14. We named her after my grandmother.
And your husband, if I may ask, what happened to him?
He disappeared, right in front of my eyes, just moments before the earthquake hit. It took me a month to believe what my eyes saw. That's when I met Richard. He helped me to understand. He brought me to Christ, and Christ has led me to the truth that I'll see my Stephen again. But my children, I just don't know.
And what of you two? Obviously you weren't saved when everything happened, but why the change? What drew you to him?
Our son Andrew. He was a good man, a just man. Very, how shall I put it, rebellious in his youth. But when he went off to college, he met a girl, a very devout Christian girl. I was actually on the phone with him when the line went dead. He was trying, for the thousandth time, to get me to realize that the days we were in were a sign from the Lord.
My wife was the same. I tried to get her to stop telling me all that Bible stuff. As I used to call it, I should have listened. She was nowhere to be found when I got home. The news was on about all of the events that happened that day. I sat there staring at the television mesmerized for at least 10 hours, until I finally realized that I had been left behind.
Yes, we were the same. It seemed like nothing was on the news but all the terrible events. Not one shred of good news. And then they started to blame the Christians. I don't know why, but it seems every bad incident needs a scapegoat. We started reading the Bibles that Andrew had sent us for Christmas years ago, and the Lord was merciful to us. He has called us to himself.
From everything I've read in the scriptures, it looks as if we're in for some very disturbing times, to say the least. We must endure until the end, but we will not suffer nearly as much as the Lord did, and we can find comfort that He will not allow us to go through more than we can endure. I pray that I can have the same confidence that Stuart had, that my death will bring as much glory to the Lord as his did.
Will you all excuse me for a minute, please?
Of course, Crystal. The bathroom is just up those stairs. It's the second door on the left. Sharon, would you give me a hand in the kitchen? We'll see about getting those dishes taken care of. I'll tell you about my son, and you can tell me about your children.
Richard, I'd like to hear some more about Stuart. He sounds like he was a fine man of God. I want you to know first, though, there's a fairly large group of us that meet twice a week, sometimes more often, up in the hills about 5 miles from here. Tomorrow night is one of those nights. We seek the face of God, we worship Him, and we pray for His guidance and mercy. I'd like all of you to come with us.
We'd be honored to, Sam. It sounds like we might have finally found what we've been searching for. A community of like-minded believers who just want to see the Lord glorified.
Over 130 of them, 137 to be exact. Well done, Sergeant. A job well done indeed. And I'm quite sure that after the proper coursement, we will be offered even more information as to the whereabouts of more groups such as this. Yes, indeed. The proper questions, asked in the proper manner, with just a little, shall we say, incentive, can yield many results from those who are not prepared for those incentives. We will send them along their way towards the God they so desire to see soon enough. In fact, I'm sure that many of them will be screaming at the top of their lungs in their desire to go and see Him. We will root out every last one of these Christians. Each and every one of them shall pay for their disobedience to the new order of man, for forsaking mankind in his pursuit for ultimate greatness, in this quest to place mankind in his proper place upon the throne of all creation, instead of yielding in submission to an invisible, so-called God. Now, let us discuss the matter of your advancement within the organization, shall we? I believe you will find the new responsibilities that we have chosen for you most interesting indeed.